had to scope this thing out, and it came from France. Ooh. Guy that owned it hated snobs so bad, I didn't even talk price with him, and he sold it to me. I have to push it in. Yes, what's up, people? Okay, so I was so excited by sticking it to the snobs with the Porsche 928. I decided I needed to go on another adventure to find another anti-snob car. I'm so pumped. I don't know why. Like, I feel like I've broken through this like mental barrier that all car guys should. Like, screw the snobs. Screw all this hyperinflated car values. You know they're not worth this. All these people that are buying these cars for double, triple, 4 times the value they were a few years ago that didn't like the car beforehand, those are not car people. They're terrible human beings. What are you doing? Okay, you there, map person, I get it. So, maybe they're not terrible human beings, but they're not car guys. It just drives me nuts. And then us car guys, we can't say it. We just sit around watching these values go nuts, and then who can afford that? But fortunately, the snobs that are doing that made it so that there's lots of cars that you can still afford. And then it's almost like they've given us the gift of, if you have those cars and you love them for what they are, you are a true car guy. So I'm going to look at one. I may buy it tonight for peanuts, and I'm going to give you some clues. I have saved some items in case I ever got one of these again. And I've had a lot of cars, so you don't even know. So first of all, first clue, I've got some sweet red mud flaps for it in case I wanted it to be rally, just in case. Okay, clue number 1. All right. Clue number 2, this is nuts. Check this out. These are some like sheepskin or faux sheepskin seat covers in case I want to drive it in the winter and be like a super cool Alpine rally kind of guy. Yes, that was clue number 2. Clue number 3, where is it? Where is it? Oh yes, since I'm probably having like a midlife thing and I'm overly enjoying things from when I was a child. Check it out, it is literally the Frisbee I had when I was a kid in the 80s. Yes, the shredder. Oh, is it a Whammo or something? All right, so enough of that. And then last, and certainly not least for the clue of the car I'm going to look at is, check this out, a 4 Rally fiberglass light pad to go in the front. Ooh, rally, what would Casey rally? Now, first of all, if I do get this car, I'm not gonna trash it off-road rallying like some horrible YouTubers. Hey, YouTubers, just because you guys are big and have some money that I don't, and normal people don't, doesn't mean you should take old cars. Listen, Matt person, be quiet. Does not mean you should take cars just because they're inexpensive at the time and trash them off-road driving them in rallying. Knock it off. I don't care if you're rich. Stop beating up perfectly good cars. You're like worse than a snob. You're some like hedonistic jackwagon that's ruining cars. So anyway, my rally light pod, I was gonna get it in the past and put it on a car, and I never did. I got lazy, you know, shoot me. But I had to scope this thing out, and it came from France. Ooh, what could that be? I don't know. We'll see. I hope this works. I'm driving forever up north. Oh, I gotta tell you this too. So I was talking to the guy, right, about this car. It was really nice. He sent me some pictures. He sent me a video. I'm like, ooh, the paint's pretty good. I'm like, the interior's nice. Whoa. Okay, that's a good thing. He's like, oh, it's got an exhaust leak. Might be jacked up there. So initially he tells me, or I saw on the listing, it's got like 43,000 miles. And I'm like, so is that mileage correct? Because those odometers, you know, those things can break. And then I called him later and I was asking him questions in the evening, and he's kind of cagey or something. He's like, yeah, it's got 60,000 miles on. I'm like, you told me it was a different mileage. He's like, I don't know. It could be something. I'm not sure if it's working. And I'm like, hey man, when I talked to you earlier, you said that was working properly. He's like, I don't know, man. Honestly, you're asking me a lot of questions and I just smoke a really big joint. I'm like, Jesus Christ. All right, well, I'm on my way to find a car. Let's see if it happens.
Yes! It's like Predator, night vision. Just trying it out, it's like the 80s. I'm excited. I got the car.
Super cheap, it's insane. He was just happy a car guy got it.
Yes, let's get it out. Yes. Yes! It totally worked yesterday! I swear it's a good car. So, let's turn the light. Turn on. Yes, work. You didn't work. Yes, work. Okay, so it is a 944, but it does work. So I'm thinking 103,000 miles. It's actually really clean. Okay, I just push it in.
Oh, maybe that's why I wouldn't start. This battery. Okay. Are you gonna start? I think you are. Oh, yes.
I told you guys it worked yesterday.
Okay, so the alternator belt's loose. We don't want to put new belts on it. It might have a leaking shaft seal. So let's talk about it.
Okay, so you guys, I'm very excited, and I hope you are too. I'm going to be doing this build along with this build. Now, in a manner of speaking, they're really not builds. It's just me finding two older cars that are good examples that just need a good home, need some love. You know what I mean? It's kind of like adopting a dog from the animal shelter. These two cars here are mine, and frankly, that's basically all the money I have in the world. If I was a typical business type person or reasonable, I should have just bought one car and used the rest of the money to fix it up. But I decided to go after two for two reasons. One, if I just got one of these cars and fixed it up, when it's all said and done, I would just have one car. But if I can grab two cars, even if it takes me a little bit longer and I have to raise the money and work for the money to like do timing belts and new tires and fix it all up, I've at least gotten the car. So if in the future it's harder to find one or the prices do something crazy because the snobs ruin it for everybody, then at least I was able to get something that I get personal enjoyment out of. And for me, this is truly about personal enjoyment. I don't care what the cars are worth. If they never change, if they're not worth anything and nobody likes them, I like them. And I hope you guys do too, because that's what being a car guy is all about. So the 928, I really don't have much of an experience or love affair with. I think they're neat cars, they're pretty, they're from when I was a kid. I had that great story when I was a young man and my dad test drove one, and that was about it. So I'm looking forward to having this sort of connection, and I think putting this car together and being a great car to drive around is going to be fun for me and my wife, maybe to go on a weekend trip, go hang out at Columbus Cars and Coffee, cruise with your buddies, or go out to a nice dinner or something like that. It's just going to be great fun, you know, maybe a pretty fall drive. Now, 944s, I've really got a love affair with that goes way back. In fact, some of you may have seen my VinWiki story about 944s. In the past, I've actually had 4 of them before. The first 2 ones I had, I bought a burgundy one that was the later dash. Had a really nice interior. The exterior was kind of meh. Then I sold it and got a white one, which is the color I really wanted, but it was also a later dash, which I don't like. Then I got a red one, early dash, just like this, that later blew up, which is a longer story. Wasn't my fault. And then a number of years ago, did I do Genius Garage? Like the second year I was doing Genius Garage, I bought a silver one with an early dash, really nice car, like 40,000 miles that I dailied back then. And I really enjoyed it. And when I was much younger, when I was a teenager, I had a 87 Volkswagen Golf, which isn't that hot of a car, but it was neat. I liked it. That was before Fast and the Furious. That was before any kind of tuners and anybody cared. So I was just the dork in a small town with a Volkswagen Golf. And it's actually kind of neat because Volkswagen and Porsche have a lot of similar parts, like the door handles are the same, the keys are the same, stuff like that. So it kind of brings me back to that time. But the 944 I always lusted after because when I was growing up, there was a lot of these in different movies. I think there was a red 944 and 16 Candles. That's the first one that comes to mind. I don't know why. John Hughes film, I think. But they were just all around. And I remembered them when I was watching racing when I was a kid, like 24 Hours a Daytona and such, the 924 GTRs, the 924 lineage that had the fender flares. And, you know, the same basic shape. It's just evocative from when I was a kid and playing with toys. So there's an obvious connection there. And we joke about, you know, boomers. They wanted all the cars they had when they're a kid. But I think that's a natural progression for anybody, that eventually they like the cars they couldn't have when they're a kid. People my age, we love Countaches, we love DeLoreans, we love Porsches, things like this. And, you know, for me in getting this, like this car I bought for $3,000, $3,000. The Kawasaki Ninja that was a beat up motorcycle from the 80s, that was $2,000. Okay. This is a Porsche that runs and looks nice for $3,000. Like what? I just, it's amazing. And the funny thing is, and I've gone through phases when in the past when I had some pretty neat cars, pretty big league cars that I was super proud of, and they were special. And they were very valuable. And because they were valuable, I didn't drive them or enjoy them as much as I would have liked, but wanted to because they were amazing. But the thing that's so great about this is when you can kind of get over that I have to have the biggest, baddest thing in the world, if you just want something that for the pure enjoyment of it, it doesn't matter what it's worth. You know, and the 944 is a nice sports car. Is it blazingly fast? No, but it's just so nice to drive. There's no power steering. It's light. It feels very vintage, but it's modern. It looks good. You know, it brings back good memories from back when. And I'm just so looking forward to showing you guys the build. We're going to do timing belts. We're going to do accessory belts. We're going to probably have to redo some seals, tires, brakes, whatever. All this stuff, we're going to do it together. I'm going to show you guys. So hopefully that these Porsche snobs that I joke on, because they ruined 944s for me when I was young. You don't need to, you don't have to be a doggone rocket scientist or like, you know, a freaking F-16 mechanic to work on them. It's a car. You just have to care about it and be respectful and intelligent. And you're gonna have a great time. The interior is rather nice. The seat is, you know, it's old, it's well worn. It's starting to like kind of crack through part of it, but it's still intact. So I think if I moisturize, it's gonna last. I'm just be nice to it. And there's something that's kind of nice about having that old leather, a little bit of a smell, a little bit of a feel. It's got a feeling of just a little bit of age that's nice, just a little bit of patina. And it's got great character. But enough of that crap. Let me show you some of the cool things I got. And you might think they're dorky, but I think they're cool. So this is something I saved for probably the last 5 years. This is a Rally light pod for the front of it. I had to track it down. It was really hard to come by. I think this was made in France. That's where it was shipped from. Some of the gel coat got cracked here, so I'm going to have to work on it. But I think it'll be fun. We'll find some cool lights for it and then attach this here. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. I think the Rally light pod would be super cool. Should I paint it body color? Should I paint it satin black? You let me know. But I'm thinking it's got to have amber lights. I think that would be super cool, super for the time period. So that's something that I think will be fun. Love to hear what you guys think. All right, stay there. This is silly. I just think it's good fun. I like to think European. I kind of like that little fantasy. So driving around in the Alps and whatnot, Bavaria. Yeah, Bavaria doesn't exist anymore since, what, the 20s? But, you know, that kind of area. And I think if it's cold, there's no sea heater. So what would you do? And there's this really cool picture, if I can find it, of this dude with like a Martini Rally 911. He's got like a falcon or an eagle, and it's like winter. And I'm like, oh, that's freaking cool. So check this out. So look at this. Look at these long, seem like sheep, like wool covers. They go on the seat. Okay. And you can make all the 70s pimp jokes you want. I don't care. They're super warm. You don't need a sea heater at all. You don't freeze the second you get in it. Yes, yes, drive it in the winter. It's going to be great. Absolutely great. So I'll put those on there, and it looks sweet. And you can say whatever you want, but I'm a YouTuber. Do you really think I care? What else do I got for this thing? It's got a Momo steering wheel on it. It's got the Monte Carlo, which I think is from the later in the 80s. I'm kind of particular to the Prototipo, which has the round spokes. Round holes in the spokes, which kind of match the gauges, so I kind of want to do that, but that's in there, and I don't really have any money after buying these cars, so, you know, you gotta make do. The tires are junk, they're all cracked, so that's kind of a problem. But we'll get there, It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I just hope you guys enjoy it. I hope it inspires you to go out and find the cars that mean something to you. But, you know, find something that is a good basis that runs and all, okay? There's other cars out there that are cheap or this same price, but this has got nice paint, nice body. It's not rusting. It generally works well and drives well. The clutch is fine. All the sinkers in the tranny are good. Mostly everything works. The seats are nice. So this is a great place to start. So you just put your love into it, make it something worthwhile. It's something really just to keep. And I don't know, I just kind of feel like an extra attachment to it because it wasn't loved. And also thank you to the guy that sold it to me. Truly, that story is real. A Porsche snob came and looked at it and beat it all up. Everything, oh, it's this, that, and the other thing. Everything's wrong, and I gotta blah, 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 blah. And just beat him up. And was a total jerk. Like, you know, for that snob, you know cars. Assess it, look at it, be cool, and throw him a price. If he's not, don't be a jerk. And that guy, I didn't even talk price. And he's just like, I'll sell it to you for $3,000. I just don't want to sell it to a jerk like that. And you like it. So that means something. And I don't know, it just feels like, you adopt a dog or something. It's like you want to take care of it and enjoy it. So now the other problem is if I've got 2 of these cars to love and by spring have nice, that means that I can only drive 1 at a time. So maybe I'll do something, and one of you all out there can drive the 944, and I don't know, we'll go to Radwood or like go to Mid-Ohio for the day and hang out and eat pizza and watch race cars or something. But there's some fun to have, and I hope this inspires you guys to find the cars that you enjoy, whatever that time period is, no matter if they're not worth anything or they're worth something just for you to enjoy and make right and have a great relationship with, and for all the right reasons of being a true car guy, regardless of what something's going to be worth or not. So I hope that you will share this because they're both going to be series. And that, of course, you will like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time. Shredder!